In this video, I want to talk to you about using visualization for success in a really effective way, and especially as an entrepreneur. I want to share with you what I've done that has helped me to create a multiple six-figure business, but really gain the confidence and the courage to put myself out there and to play a bigger game. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that like button and let's dive in. Welcome back, or if you are new here, hello, my name is Tara Wagner. I'm a belief breakthrough coach with nearly a decade of experience helping women to overcome limiting beliefs. I specifically focus now on female entrepreneurs struggling with that work-life juggling act and any of the mindsets or emotions that are holding them back in their business. And in this video, we're going to talk about using visualization for success. Now, I just want to say right off the bat that this is not about visualizing something while you sit there and do nothing. The purpose of visualization is not to just magically manifest things. The purpose of visualization is to get your mindset in the right place so that you can take the right actions. So if you were hoping for something where you could just kind of picture a pretty outcome and it would magically appear, this is not the video for you. But if you are looking to use visualization in a way that works, in a way that does create more intuition, more connection to what you're doing, more excitement, more confidence, and really gets you out there and doing what you know you need to do without the fear and without the overwhelm, then this video is definitely going to help you out. My very first memory of using visualization as an entrepreneur specifically was almost 20 years ago, which yes, I am dating myself right now. I was trying to pick up the phone to call and make an appointment for my business license, and I was terrified, totally dealing with imposter syndrome. I was young, and I felt like they were going to tell me, I was too young, I didn't deserve a business license, who was I? Like all of these thoughts and ideas were coming to mind. So I started using visualization as a way to gain that confidence. And what I would do is visualize myself going through that conversation, visualizing the different ways that conversation would go and how I would handle it and what I would say and how I would act and all the things that I needed to do to gain the courage to pick up that phone. Now, it was hard and it took a lot of time the first time I was doing it. So if you're new to this, just give yourself some grace and know that it takes practice. What we're doing is laying new foundations or laying new train tracks, right? Patterns in our brain that we're trying to create take time and they take practice. And to really create something as a habit, you got to know that in the beginning, it might not come smoothly or easily to you. It will over time though. Now visualization is very natural and organic to me and I'm doing it all the time, but it's very simple and easy for me to get myself into the state of mind that I want to be in before I go and do the thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to walk you through the steps that I take so that you can figure out how to do this, and make sure to watch to the end because I also have a little bonus tip for you that has made this a lot faster and more effective in recent years. There are 3 steps, and the first step is to get specific. I want to get really specific on my outcome or my goal or my big vision. And this could be short term if you're just talking about something like picking up the phone, or it could be something long term like a 5-year goal or something you're working on over a long period of time. Now, if you already have a lot of clarity on your goals or the outcome that you're after, this isn't going to take you a lot of time. But if you don't have a lot of clarity, this is really important because you have to have a target in order to know how to aim. And so if you're not sure exactly what you're wanting and where you're going, this is not going to be as effective. So really spend some time asking yourself some questions and getting really clear on what it is that you're wanting. In order to really figure out what you're going for, you want to ask yourself some questions like, what will it look like at the end of this? Or how will I know that I was successful? Now, sometimes this is really obvious. If you are wanting to be a bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list, then success is going to look like being number one. For other people though, it might be more emotional, so you might really need to look at how you're going to want to feel, or what you're going to want to be doing, or what you want your life to look like. You really get to decide what elements you're playing with there, but get really specific so that you have that target and you know where you're aiming. Step number 2 is to ask good questions. So step number 1 is all about getting specific on the outcome or where you're heading, but step number 2 is getting specific on that path to get you there. Visualization focused solely on the outcome makes us feel good and it creates a sense of confidence, but it doesn't create momentum and movement. When you visualize yourself on the path, taking the right actions that lead to that target, you actually start to gain the confidence and the courage to take the actions that will actually lead to the target. So this is where we tap into our mindset and our emotions and start to align both with our actions. Michael Phelps is a great example of this, and I know I mentioned him a couple videos ago, but I have to bring it up again because he didn't visualize himself receiving a gold medal. He visualized himself swimming the race. He visualized himself falling behind and then what he would do to get back up. He visualized himself going through the water and practicing and doing the things necessary that led to the gold medal. Again, when we focus on just the outcome, it creates a false sense of confidence, but when we focus on the actions, it can actually build our confidence, which builds our momentum and pushes us in the right direction. So what does success for you look like in action? What is that path? What are the actions that you need to take to gain the success that you want to gain? These are the things that you need to know or to outline, because these are the things that you're going to be visualizing when you're actually doing your visualizations for success. You're not going to be visualizing the outcome, you're going to be visualizing the steps to that outcome. So what do you need to do? What do you need to not do? How will you organize your day? How will you approach things? How do you stand? How do you show up? How do you talk? What's your body look like? What's your face look like? How are you showing up and doing the things on a day-to-day basis? What does that look like when you are making that scary phone call or getting up on stage or writing that book? What does it look like for you to actually take the actions of a successful person? Those are the things that you want to be visualizing every single day. If you happen to see my video a few weeks back on anxiety and stress, you're going to notice that the practice is pretty similar. In both of them, what you're doing is training your mind. You're also choosing the habits and the behaviors that you want to create in order to create the outcome that you desire. Training and practicing and really focusing our mind in one direction is one of the most important things that you can do for personal development and for business success. Because if you don't consciously steer your own ship, you're leaving it up to chance. Step number 3 is to practice, practice, because if you are not consistently putting your body, your mind, your emotions, your thoughts into the right state of being, then you're doing something else. You're creating a habit in a different direction. If you're wanting to create a habit towards success using visualization for success, it requires practice and consistent practice and constant practice. Put yourself into that state of being. Put your body into that thing that you just visualized. Practice it in front of the mirror. Say it out loud. Role play it with yourself. Be silly. Feel awkward. It's totally okay. I want to say a thing about awkwardness. Let me just say this. So many people say, I can't do that. That's not me. That feels awkward. Of course it feels awkward. Everything you do in the beginning feels awkward. What I want you to ask yourself is, do I want to still feel awkward a year from now or 5 years from now? Or do I want to get through this awkward stage so that this becomes natural and organic and comfortable? It will only become comfortable through the consistent awkward practice of it. So don't let that hold you back. Dive in and be awkward. Awkward people get stuff done. Awkward people don't care what other people think. Awkward people create success because they are not afraid of getting out of their comfort zone. Also, remember that practice makes progress, not perfection. Don't expect things to just turn around in a week. They might. That's cool when we have those breakthroughs, but oftentimes we have to kind of outweigh the old habits and patterns in our brain, and that can take some time. So practice this consistently, but look for progress, not perfection. And if you're not seeing that progress, get some support, because maybe there's just some simple tweaks that you need to make this more effective. There's plenty of times where I needed to have a coach step in to see some of my blind spots or help me to course correct and to figure out exactly what I needed to do, so that as I was visualizing what I needed to do, I made sure I was visualizing the right things. So again, practice it. Put your mind, your body, your emotions into that state before you put yourself into that situation. But then go out and put yourself into that situation. Don't just visualize and hope that it all happens by itself. Actually go and do the things that you've just been practicing. And I have a little bonus tip for you. Use aromatherapy. Aromatherapy can help you to actually interrupt emotional and thought patterns in your limbic system, the emotional center of your brain, and help you to hardwire in new ones. So things like confidence, self-approval, courage, feeling comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you've got this, those are things that you can help to hardwire into your brain faster as you're doing these visualizations for success while you're using aromatherapy. You also create aromatic associations between your state of being when you're practicing these visualizations and your state of being when you're actually in the situation. And I'll give you a really cool example of this. I was invited a few years ago to go on the Ricki Lake show. She was having a green living show. I had a green living website at the time, and she wanted me to be one of their guest experts, which totally freaked me out because I was not an expert. I hurried up, I said yes before I could say no and talk myself out of it, and then I had 3 weeks to feel confident and not look or sound like a blubbering fool on that stage. I used aromatherapy with visualization and affirmations nonstop, practicing it constantly for 3 weeks. When I got up on that stage, all of the nerves and the fears right off stage started coming up for me, and I sniffed my oil and immediately brought myself back into the state of mind when I was feeling good, when I was feeling confident, as I was practicing how I wanted to show up on that stage. And instead of tripping myself out there, which I was afraid I was going to do, I danced out on that stage. I felt so good, so confident. I was laughing, I was having fun. And that situation, that experience completely changed forever my experience of being in front of a camera or being up on stage, simply because I used aromatherapy to hardwire those feelings into my brain, into my emotions, into my state of being. If you are new to the idea of emotions and essential oils, I want to encourage you to download my free SNIFF AFFIRM guide. This is going to walk you through my top 10 essential oils, all of the major mindsets or emotions, limiting beliefs that female entrepreneurs specifically struggle with in their business. It's going to list affirmations to go with each one, and it's going to walk you through how to actually use aromatherapy in the most effective way possible. So if that's of interest to you, it's called SNIFF AFFIRM. You can grab it up above my head or in the description below. Before you go though, be sure to drop a comment. Let us all know your best tips for visualization for success. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Check out the next ones that YouTube is recommending, probably over here, maybe over here, I'm not really sure. And if you're a female entrepreneur and you would like more support and inspiration and encouragement and free coaching every week to help you crush your goals, not your soul, be sure to subscribe, or if you're already subscribed, share this with other female entrepreneurs that you know would appreciate this message. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next week.